It's coffee on the vid, tapping back in, man. And Gronk has done so much, so many achievements, winning Super Bowls, Lombardi trophies, WWE championship, and he can add the most sus podcast name ever, the Dudes on Dudes podcast. And then on top of it, it's with Gronk and Jules. What kind of sus ass ish is that? I don't know. Hit the comments and let me know if it sounds extra sus to you, like it covers some very sus topics. The Dudes on Dudes podcast. I don't know, man. I don't even know what was running through Gronk and Jules Edelman's head naming their podcast that. Let me know what you think. But aside from all that, no question, dudes made a lot of money. And it's something that's been well publicized through interviews and sports media and stuff like that, that Gronk didn't touch the money he made for his NFL contracts, that he was living off endorsement deals and other money he made. You know, Gronk has a lot of personality. He's always wilding out and whatnot. And of course, that persona, that image, companies love it. They came running with all the endorsement deals. And it definitely kept him financially secure. But I found this pretty interesting, as this just hit the news that one of the most lucrative financial plays that Gronk ever made came from him building his house. Listen to this, right? He was building his house back in 2014. So I think Gronk's rookie year was 2011, right? It was so wild that the Patriots had Gronk and Hernandez, two solid tight ends in the draft the same year, man. They stayed making big moves in the draft and free agency and all that. But in 2014, he's building this house in Foxborough, and apparently the contractor kept telling Gronk, invest in Apple every time he's seen him. And nonetheless, he says after like the 50th time of hearing it, he decided, let me do what this dude is talking about, take his advice and invest in Apple. So apparently he invested $69,000 in Apple, and I guess his financial advisor, money handler was like, what are you doing? Like, 69K? Are you sure? What motivates you to do this? As I guess he had never got involved in any kind of investments before. You know, he was just banking them NFL checks and cashing them endorsement deals and living his life, partying it up, playing football, whatever, winning Super Bowls. And then out of nowhere, he's telling, hey, let's put $69,000 into Apple. And the financial guy is like, what makes you all of a sudden want to jump into this? And he's like, yo, the guy that's building my house said I should do it. It's kind of funny if you think about it, right? And he did. And apparently the contractor knew his ish. I guess right when Gronk did it originally, that quarter of that fiscal year wasn't looking too good for Apple. A couple years after the passing of Steve Jobs, but they ended up having a bad first quarter and then just going crazy the rest of the year, going high as could be. And that 69,000 turned into 250,000 a year and a half later after he forgot about it and looked into it. 69 was $250,000, which now today I guess sits at $600,000. So at the end of the day, I don't know what he paid for that house, what the house was worth or whatever, but that made him money. Ain't that crazy the way that goes? Like, think about that. The dude never made any kind of investments or anything like that. And the first time he decides to is just off the word of his contractor, you know? So essentially building a house, build him a financial portfolio. And, you know, he made a good move, taking dude's word and getting involved in the investment world with Apple stock. Some people just can't lose, I guess, man. You know, as Gronk won all them Super Bowls, not all of them with Brady, but he was there for quite a few of them. And as y'all know the way it went, he went over to Tampa with him and they got a Super Bowl there their first year. And even though, the dude wasn't about investments and all that, it seems he definitely had his mind on his money by banking those checks and not frivolously spending his money. It's a shame to see a lot of athletes go broke. But that definitely wasn't in the cards for Gronk. And I guess nowadays he's got all kinds of business moves going on and whatnot, man. So I thought that was pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying? From Super Bowl titles and WWE titles, you can add #1 pause suspect podcast title and cashing in on a big W in his first investment ever that he got into from building a house. Quite the story there. Tap in and comment and let me know what you think about it. I knew someone once who had someone that they did some kind of business with way back in the 90s, telling them to invest in Dell, and then Dell landed some big, I think, government contract or something like that, all the government agencies bought Dell computers or something like that, contracted Dell, I think, and the stock went through the roof, and they had listened to the individual putting them up on game. Some people, hear of a good financial play and want to share the wealth and gain with others. Some people want to keep it all to themselves, but at the end of the day, it's really all a gamble, and I guess it paid off for Gronk. I thought this was pretty intriguing. Let me know if you thought it was as well. It's Coffee. I'm up out of here. Peace.